Hello, and welcome to Storyline True Crime with your host, Candace Hayner. Each episode, we navigate the unscripted stories behind shocking true crimes. Please like, comment, and share to support the show. He vanished in the early morning hours with nothing but a backpack and a deadline. Days later, his body was found in the Red River, weighted down with rocks and a bullet in his skull. This is the story of Andrew Sadek, but it's also a story about truth, trust, and how easily the two can slip away. Richland County, North Dakota. Small towns, quiet streets, college campuses, and every so often, the kinds of crimes communities prefer to ignore. But in 2013, one set of crimes drew the attention of law enforcement: repeated marijuana sales on the campus of North Dakota State College of Science. Not huge operations, but illegal drug sales in a student dormitory are never small to a police task force. Deputy Jason Weber of SEMCA, the Southeast Multi-County Agency Narcotics Task Force, recognized a pattern. Someone was responsible. Someone was selling. And to the officers involved, this was not just college mischief, it was a thorn in their community's side. Cell records, purchase logs, and undercover buys pointed to one man, 20-year-old Andrew Sadek. To law enforcement, the evidence was clear. Andrew was an active dealer on campus. He had sold marijuana multiple times to an undercover source. In the eyes of the police, this wasn't casual, it was criminal, and it was escalating. Deputy Weber laid out the situation plainly.
These charges are serious. You are looking at years in prison unless we get cooperation.
To police, they were offering Andrew a choice: help us or face the consequences of your actions. Facing potential decades in prison, a life sentence to a young man, Andrew agreed to work as a confidential informant. To officers, this was a pragmatic solution, a way to knock out a drug ring and help a young man avoid ruin. Deputy Weber told Andrew,
If you help law enforcement, you might avoid prison. But you have to keep this quiet. You can't tell anyone.
To police, this was a routine undercover arrangement. Dangerous, yes, but also a staple of narcotics enforcement. In any narcotics task force, the work is risky. The evidence matters. The buys matter. And law enforcement believed Andrew was cooperating. In early 2014, communications with Andrew began to taper off. Calls went unanswered and texts unreturned. In a task force pressured to keep cases moving, delays are danger signals. Officers grew increasingly concerned that Andrew was hesitating, withdrawing, or possibly fleeing. To police, this looked like avoidance, even flight, so they set a deadline, May 1st, 2014. Deliver more intel or return with nothing. the last confirmed sighting of Andrew was caught on campus security footage walking out into the night on that same May 1st. At this moment, this is where law enforcement thought they had the final piece of the puzzle.
He fled. The informant ran. He abandoned his cooperation and walked into uncertainty. But what law enforcement believed wasn't the whole story. The truth begins where assumption ends. Days passed. Weeks passed. Andrew didn't show up. No calls, no contacts, no explanations. But here's what police didn't know. To Andrew, this wasn't escape. This was terror. He had been isolated. He had been scared. He had been given a deal with conditions he did not fully understand. To his family, there was no indication he was in danger, hiding, or planning to flee. There were no erased messages, no farewell emails, nothing consistent with someone on the run.
June 27, 2014, 2 months after Andrew vanished, a dive team found a body in the Red River. It was Andrew. His backpack was there weighted with rocks. The autopsy revealed a gunshot wound to the head, but there were no weapons, no suicide note, nothing conclusive.
The river claimed its secrets.
When the case was examined in detail, a different picture emerged, one that confounded the early assumptions.
Andrew wasn't a hardened dealer, a violent criminal, on the run to avoid arrest.
He was a student under enormous pressure, with limited understanding of legal risk, isolated from support, and navigating undercover work without procedural protections.
Experts pointed out that he was never provided legal counsel. He was never given clear warnings about danger. He was never offered a safety plan. He was told to keep total secrecy.
And in court, his family would allege that the way law enforcement communicated with him may have exaggerated the risks without safeguards. In response to this tragedy, North Dakota passed Andrew's Law designed to provide protections and clear disclosures for confidential informants.
The truth is this: sometimes the story starts with one narrative and ends with another entirely.
A young man caught between law and fear. A system that saw a suspect, and then a tragedy. A community left holding questions far heavier than conclusions.
This was Storyline. True crime. This was the death of Andrew Sadek.